Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom, Cantor.
Shabbat Shalom, Rabbi Nanus. It's great to see you and be with you on this special Music Shabbat.
Music Salon Shabbat, where we are featuring 4 cantors in honor of Jewish Music Month, which is a month where, we're really conscious of how beautiful, how powerful, and how pervasive music is in our tradition. And we have you, of course, our illustrious senior cantor, and 3 beloved colleagues. Do you want to share who they are?
Oh, absolutely. Cantor Nate Lam, who's been the cantor at Stephen Wise Temple here in Los Angeles for more than 40 years. We've been dear friends and colleagues for about 35 years. Cantor Chayim Frenkel, the cantor at Kehillat Israel in the Palisades, also one of my very dear and closest friends and colleagues. And Cantor Marsha Attie, who's cantor at the Emanu-El congregation in San Francisco. And I had the pleasure of being one of Marsha's teachers here at the Academy for Jewish Religion. And I got to know her even long before that when I was in New York at Rodef Shalom, and she was a good friend of one of the rabbis there at the time. And I got to know her then. So they're all such gifted, extraordinarily gifted and beautiful human beings. I'm so excited just to share them with all of you tonight.
Yes, I actually went to school with Marsha Attie, Cantor Attie, and Cantor Lam was one of my teachers at the Academy. And Cantor Frenkel, Chayim Frenkel, when I lived in the Palisades, he was the cantor that did my daughter's bat mitzvah. So they're also very close to my heart. So we're talking about music, Jewish music, and it's amazing how we use music in every aspect of Judaism. We were talking about it. And one of the ways that people may not know is even poetry, famous poetry, has been put to music. I'm thinking of Chaim Nachman Bialik, who was the poet laureate of Israel. He originally came from Russia, moved to Germany, and then Tel Aviv. And he wrote this beautiful Shabbat song called The Sabbath Queen in Hebrew. He wrote in Yiddish and Hebrew. This is in Hebrew. That was then turned into a haunting, melodic, beautiful Shabbos song. Cantor Frenkel is going to sing it for us, but I just want to tell you the words of this poem. The sun has already disappeared beyond the treetops. Come, let us go and welcome the Sabbath Queen. She is already descending among us, holy and blessed, and with her are angels, a host of peace and rest. Come, O Queen, come, O bride, peace be unto you, O angels of peace.
החמה מראש האילנות נסתלקה בואו ונצא לקראת שבת המלכה הנה היא יורדת הקדושה הברוכה ועימה המלאכים צבא שלום ומנוחה בואי 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 הכלה שלום עליכם שלום
We take the peace, the love, the beauty of that song, of that poetry, of that voice, and we invite our B'nai Mitzvah family now, the Dworkin family, to join us to usher in the Shabbat with candles, Kiddush, and Motzi.
There they are. Beautiful. All right. So, who has the lighter? There you go. All right. We'll light our Shabbat candles.
This is the light that we want to bring into the world.
And we'll all bring the light of Shabbat in, and we'll join in the blessing over the Shabbat candles. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat. Beautifully done. And now it's time to raise our Kiddush cups and fill them. Beautiful. Let's all now join in our Kiddush for Shabbat. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvratzon inchilanu zikaron lemase v'reishit ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר ליציאת מצרים, כי באנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת, מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. Amen. L'chaim to the Dworkin family and everyone else with us tonight. Share that Kiddush wine. Beautiful. All right. Now we can remove the cover from your challah. Yes, and show us your beautiful challah. Hold that challah up if you can. Good job, Jonah. All right. Let's all join in the brachas so we can eat of it. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
So, all right.
Share that challah.
And eat it.
Break up the bread.
Come on. Jonah, take that challah. Yeah, and just tear off a piece for everyone.
Yeah, I got it. Let's go. We should be-
I thought I saw that.
Shabbat shalom. Dworkins, mazal tov to you. And best of
Thank
luck
you.
tomorrow. Mazel
Thank
tov.
you.
You're welcome. Pure joy.
So beautiful.
Yeah.
So we talked about how music, we take poetry, we put it to music, and we know the Kabbalists sang everything and turned everything into a mystical experience. And they, of course, they're the ones who envisioned the Shabbat as a bride, as a queen, but they turned Shabbat into Lecha Dodi into a wedding song, where they would dress in white and go out into the fields and welcome the Shabbat bride, the Shabbat queen, into their midst. And by the way, Cantor, I know you know this, but most people do not know that the Kabbalists were all Sephardic mainly. They came from Spain, they came from North Africa. So even though we're singing it in kind of an Ashkenazic tune, I imagine the original tune must have been a more Sephardic, Spanish or Moroccan sound.
Without question.
Without question.
It couldn't be anything else, because Jews, no Jews had gone to, Western Europe, right? They didn't live there then. So it was of their, original culture.
Original culture. So we now continue with Lecha Dodi.
Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. שהמור וזכור בדיבור אחד, השמיענו אל המיוחד. אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, לשם ודברת ולתהילה. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. לקראת שבת לכו ונלכה, כי מקור הברכה. מראש מקדם נסוכה, סוף מעשה במחשבה תחילה. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. התעוררי, התעוררי, כי באורק קומי, אורי, 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 שיר דברי, כבוד אדוני עלייך נגלה. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. בואי ושלום התרב עלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי חלה, בואי חלה, Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi, Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה. Lecha Dodi לקראת קהלה, בני שבת נקבלה.
Now that we are uplifted, we have the angels of the Shabbat with us. We have the queen of Shabbat with us. we are ready to welcome God into our midst with our Baruch Hu, our call to prayer. The Baruch
Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed HaMevorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Sometimes we could actually think of Judaism and talking about God as a musical, because we're always singing, even when we're singing about the Torah, talking about the Torah. We don't talk about it. We sing about the Torah. We sing about the gifts of the Torah and what the Torah teaches us, because when we sing it, it penetrates us on even a deeper level. It penetrates into our soul, as the mystics would say. And so now we hear Cantor Nate Lam singing Ahava Rabbah, Ahavat Olam, the love of the world, which is God's love is Torah. Ahavat Olam.
Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael.
We sing about the Torah, and we sing the words of the Torah. We call it the trope. We call it the beautiful chanting of the words. The Shema and the V'ahavta are out of the book of Deuteronomy. They are words of Torah, and they too are sung. So let's join together for the Shema and the V'ahavta.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Va'ed. We join together in V'ahavta. V'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol meodecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך וקשרתם לאות על ידיך והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
It's beautiful. And you know, of course, yeah, I hear there's an echo. I apologize for that to anyone who's hearing that echo. There's Jewish music for love, that we sing about love in so many ways. And the Song of Songs is particularly full of music and of love poetry. Rabbi Akiba said that the whole Bible, the whole Tanakh is holy, but the Song of Songs is the Holy of Holies. And it's a beautiful series of 7 chapters about love. Cantor, do you use quotes from the Song of Songs when you do weddings?
Always. It's really the bedrock of Jewish wedding song tradition. And there are hundreds of musical settings of Shir HaShirim, Song of Songs. And there are quite, at times, quite explicit love poetry.
We're going to hear one now, correct?
We will. Yeah, we are in just a moment. Do Di Li, my beloved is mine. And the sages, in order to get the Song of Songs into the Hebrew Bible, as it were, to publish it along with the rest of the Bible, they had to reimagine its interpretation as an allegory, the love between God and Israel, rather than the physical or romantic love between humans.
Which it really was.
Absolutely.
So let's hear Do Di Li now.
תודי ואני לא הרואה בשושנים
Many people inscribe Ani Ladodi Vidodi Li, I am my beloved and my beloved is mine, on their wedding rings, or say it at their weddings. And the word Dodi is also comes, the same word David comes from the same root. So the name David means beloved or loved. And people may not have known that. Another way that we use music is to celebrate victory over our enemies, to sing songs of triumph. This is actually many, many cultures sang songs of triumph after a war. Usually it was a defeating of an enemy, but our original triumph song is a song of liberty. It was after we were freed from slavery and crossed the sea and started a whole new chapter as the Jewish people, a nation of people. This is one of the oldest fragments in the Torah, the first time that we see the Jewish people singing to God, and we sing it in every single service, the Mi Chamocha.
Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Kamocha Nedar B'Kodesh Norati Lo, O Sefele Norati Lo, O Sefele, O Sefele. Mi Chamocha Ba'elim Adonai, Mi Kamocha Nedar B'Kodesh Norat Hilot, O Sefele Norat Hilot, O Sefele, O Sefele Malchutecha Rahu Vanecha, בוקע הים לפני משה זה לי ענו ואמרו אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד לעולם ועד מי כמוך באלים אדוני מי כמוך נדר בקודש נורא תהילות אוסף אלה נורא תהילות אוסף אלה אוסף ונאמר כיפדו אדוני את יעקב וגאלו מיד חזק חזק ממנו ברוך אתה אדוני גאל ישראל
It's beautiful music like that reminds us that Shabbat doesn't keep the Jewish people. Jewish people don't keep Shabbat. Shabbat keeps the Jewish people. I need that day of rest so badly. I cherish it. How does Shabbat keep you, Cantor? How does it uplift you?
For me, it's a number of things. It's being with my family for some special time of peace, being together. Also with our closest friends. It brings those we love together in a very beautiful umbrella of love and spirit. And of course, I would be remiss and I wouldn't be a chazan if I didn't say it's the song, it's the music. Human beings need to sing, need music in their lives as much as we need anything else. It is part of who we are as human beings. We need to sing and to experience music. It makes us happy in the deepest places.
And that is why we're going to enjoy now Vishamru. The covenant between the Jewish people and God is the Shabbos, the Shabbat.
ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל, בני ישראל, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים, את השמיים ואת הארץ, ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. וביום השני שבת, 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 וביום השביעי שבת, שבת, שבת ויהי נפש ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם.
We continue now with a few moments of silent prayer, silent meditation, which will be followed by a beautiful song by Cantor Marsha Attie, Sha'alu Shalom.
Pray for well-being, oh Jerusalem. May all those who love you be at peace. For you are a light that shines upon the world. My heart turns to you to pray for peace. Shalom, shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayu, Ohavayim. Shalom, shalom, Yerushalayim, Yishlayu, תדבק לשוני לחיקי, אם לא אעלה את ירושלים, ראש שמחתי. שלום, שלום, ירושלים, ישליו אהבה.
We see the power of music. We see in every epoch of our history, which Cantor, you're going to share about in a moment, how important music has been in our history. We know what it can do, but the mystics, the Kabbalists and the Hasidim, saw music as magical and so powerful. It says that it opened gates in heaven. Music and singing opened gates in heaven that would not be opened by words or even deeds. It was so powerful. They said that it could give you the gift of prophecy. It could elevate your soul. It could transform you into ecstasy, which is what they tried to do. It took you to a higher level, that the goal of music was to purify you and transport you to another realm. And the mystics, the scholars got nervous and tried to play down the power of music, because the mystics felt that it was, especially the nigun, without words, music without words is the highest form of connection with God. Just the singing, or even I'm sure with the instruments, it's a way that connects ourselves and God, in so different from any kind of study or word or discussion. We are in another place. And we've been singing as Jews since the Song at the Sea, right, Cantor? And it started there. And what happened after that? I want to point out one thing, then I'd love you to talk a little more about the history of Jewish music. King David, who became our greatest king, and who is going to be, this Messiah is an ancestor of King David is the ancestor of the Messiah. Before he was a king, he was a musician. He was a poet. He wrote the Psalms and he played music. And the holiness, perhaps Samuel recognized his greatness from the beginning from his music. What do you think?
Everything you said is entirely true. It's true both of Jewish history and Jewish culture. It's also true probably of every human civilization that has ever existed on planet Earth. And that is because music is common to all cultures, and it is what human beings do. It's what we are born to do. There's an amazing writer and thinker by the name of Daniel Levitin. He's an anthropologist, musician, and neuroscientist. And he published one book titled The World in 6 Songs, How Music Changed the Human Brain, not the other way around. And because of that, in recent years, neuroscientists have discovered that there's a separate music center in the brain. They used to think it was part of the language center, but it's not. It's its own entity in the brain. And it releases chemicals to the body when we sing, which makes us happy. So we sing. Of course, we enjoy singing and we love it. It's beautiful. We sing also because we have to. We have to. Our bodies and our human being selves sing because we must. It's, in a way, they describe it as it's no different than eating or drinking or sleeping or going to the bathroom. It's part of our biology that we need to sing.
And the mystics say it's beyond that. They say that music is the song of the universe, that the universe actually needs music to survive, to grow, to sustain, and we talk about God continually creating. There's this concept that God just didn't stop creating on the 6th day, but continues to create. Perhaps God sings the creation. We know he spoke the creation, or perhaps he sang the creation. And
I believe that too, right? Look, as we mentioned earlier, every single ceremony in Jewish life, every worship experience, every ritual, whether it's a brit, a funeral, a wedding, I can't think of one Jewish ceremony that isn't done through song. Every single one, including the singing of the Torah. The rabbis debated, if we pray in song, all the more so. We have to honor the Torah, and sing the Torah. You won't ever hear the Torah, read except for teaching purposes. But when it's experienced in a service, we sing it. Every single thing in Jewish life is through song.
And on Shabbos, we have special songs called Zmirot, which is its own entity, its own kind of ecstatic singing. And we're going to hear one of those Zmirot right now, Tzur Mishalo by Cantor Lam.
צור משלו אכלנו ברכו אמוני, שבענו והותרנו כדבר אדוני. צור משלו אכלנו ברכו אמוני, שבענו והותרנו כדבר אדוני. עזר את עולמו, רואינו אבינו, אכלנו את פחו, ויהנו שתינו. על כן נודה לשמו ונהללו בפינו, אמרנו וענינו, אמרנו וענינו, אמרנו וענינו, אין קדוש כאדוני, אין קדוש כאדוני. צור משלו אכלנו ברכו אמוני, שבענו והותרנו כדבר אדוני. בשיר וקול תודה לברך לאלוהינו, על ארץ חמדתו שהנחה לאבותינו. מזון וגם צילה השביע לנפשנו, חסדו גבר עלינו, חסדו גבר עלינו, חסדו גבר עלינו, באמת אדוני, באמת אדוני. צור משלו אכלנו ברכו אמוני, שבענו והותרנו כדבר אדוני. אדוני, משיח אדוני. צור משלו אכלנו ברכו אמוני, שבענו והותרנו כדבר אדוני. ייבנה המקדש, עיר ציון תמלא, ושם נשיר שיר חדש. ובירננה נעלה, הרחמן הנקדש, יתברך ויתעלה על כוס יין מעלה, כגבירת אדוני, כברכת אדוני. צור משלו אכלנו ברכו אמוני, שבענו והותרנו כדבר אדוני. צור משלו אכלנו ברכו אמוני, שבענו והותרנו כדבר אדוני.
That was not just Cantor Lam. That was our three cantors.
Yes, it was. And I cannot even begin to tell you how much fun we had doing that.
That is so beautiful. And that felt like a real Shabbat song. And that's something you sing at the Shabbat table. That's why we saw all those tables filled with beautiful food, and those challahs looked amazing.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
I am uplifted. I'm uplifted. Not having listened to myself sing or watching myself, but just that song and the three of us together. By the way, that was composed by Cantor Mayer Finkelstein, that music.
That was so beautiful. And it puts us in the right frame of mind, I think, to think about those in our lives who we want to bless. We want to share this Shabbos glow with them and the Shabbos love. And we want to say a blessing for them if they need some healing, some spiritual healing, some emotional healing, some physical healing. A lot of people are having a hard time on one of those levels. I was teaching third grade this afternoon, and I said to the kids, "How are you doing?" And they were going, "Oh, okay." It's hard. It's hard for everyone, and we want to bless everyone to try to uplift them as we come upon a year of this coronavirus and this pandemic, and we're all trying to remain strong because we know that we're hoping, God willing, within the next few months, things are going to get a lot better. So if there's someone in your life that needs a blessing, a healing blessing, please say their names out loud now as we hear the Misha Berach.
שברח אבותינו אברהם, יצחק ויעקב, מי שברך אמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May our hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Mi sheberach avotenu Avraham, Yitzchak veYaakov. מי שברך אמותינו שרה, רבקה, לאה ורחל. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well. Hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
Just a few announcements before we conclude our service with the Kaddish, and I want to start with thanking Jessica Reisenberg and Tess Cutler, who are our producers on this Shabbat, and I want to thank them for the beautiful job they did behind the scenes putting this together. We have a lot of amazing programs, actually 1 or 2 a day at Wilshire Boulevard Temple, and you can find all of them on our website, but the new programs that have just been introduced are an exercise class on Mondays and Thursdays. Of course, Wilshire Fitness, yes, with that fantastic graphic, which I love. The Cantors does Music Matters every single Monday. On starting last week on Wednesdays, we have a beautiful Sephardic culture and traditions class, El Judaismo Sephardi, with Rabbi Daniel Buskilat. That's for the next 3 Wednesdays, at 9:30 a.m. And on Thursdays, we just added a new class called Understanding the Holocaust with Randy Freed, and that will be going on for another 5 weeks. And I want to put in a special plug for our Adult Purim, which will be Thursday, the 25th of February, Shushan Stand Up. It's with all of these fabulous Jewish comedians. Some of them are own Wilshire Boulevard Temple comedians, and some of them very famous LA and national American Jewish comedians. We hope you'll join us for that. And you can find everything on our website. Now we turn to moments of memory, and we think about those who are no longer with us and who we would like to say Kaddish for this evening. We begin by remembering those who died during Shloshim, the past 30 days.
B. Anchor, Max Bass, David Saul Ben Saul, Donald William Bernstein, Barbara Cowan, Doris Engelman, Nathan Goldberg, Sarah Lee Goldman, Belle R. Gorin, Jane Hirsch, Barbara Lefkowitz-Zagowski, Diane Mandel Miller, Steve Menkes, Michko Nickerson, Tia Persoff, Francine Peterman, Alice Pollitt, Myra Scott Reifman, Eleanor Sattinger, Miriam Sloan Naham. We also remember those whose yortzites, the anniversaries of their deaths, took place during this past week. Fen Abrams, Herbert Anker, Alvin Appel, Theodore Arnovitz, Jean Burlfine, Arnold Bernstein, Rose Bernstein, Evelyn Black, Fanny H. Blatt, David Blumenstein, Sarel Book, Philip Breitbart, Sherry L. Brown Levine, Al Cohen, Elliot Corday, Jacques Darlan, Frida Doro, Michael Ellis Jr., Joan Feeder, Douglas Feld, Charles Fenton, Goldie Friedman, Daniel Gam, Albert Garber, Bessie Ginsberg, B. Rita Gittleson, Donald Glabman, Jean Glass, Betty Gluckin, Bertha Ratenoff Golant, Joseph Carl Gomberg, Willard Hackerman, Daniel Heisler, Richard Heitner, Irving Heller, Suzanne Hirschhorn, Alma Holzer Serere, Max Kamens, Mary Kay, Ernest Klein, Harold Klein, Rosa Kren, Frida Kurtzman, Flora Kuit, Shirley Landsman, Eva Lane, Klaus Lefebvre, Mina Lester, William Helmut Lipman, Anne Loeb, Sandy McMahon, Myron Maged, Thomas Miles Meadoff, Gloria Merrill, Edith Miller, Seymour Pensionar, Anna Rayner, Barbara Ruskin, Wesley Richards, Mary Rosemont, William Rubin, Melba Ruth, Frida Sachs, Avi Gross Schaefer, Saul Schallman, Frida Scheiber, Betty Schulman, Edward Schultz, Beverly Seeger, Sarah Shaw, Carol Sherman, Abraham Chavetz, Jean Scheinfield, Nelson Schrager, Norman Siebert, Alexander Smerling, Art Sobin, Albert Spound, Leon Julius Steinsapper, Janet Kaminsky Sunshine, Julius Tabak, Craig Allen Tucker, Jess Uslin, Marcia Weltman, William Zinberg. We also remember those who gave their lives defending the State of Israel and the United States of America, and those who have died in senseless violence, terrorism, and illness, and those who have no one to say Kaddish for them. We take them all as our own. If you would like to stand now, please do so.
Yitgadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah. V'yalma divra higutei v'yamlich malchutei. V'chaye chon u'v'yomei chon. V'chaye dechol beit Yisrael. V'agala u'v'zman kari v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam olmei olmaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar, v'yitale, v'yitalal, shmei d'kudisha brichu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbachata v'nechemata, damiram v'yalma v'imru, amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'imramav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, the Imru. Amen.
We're going to let our dear friend Cantor Marsha Attie take us out this evening with this beautiful song that she wrote years ago called Heart of Mine. And I will tell you that it is an anthem around the country and the world, for that matter, for song leaders. And now we get to hear it by the composer herself, Heart of Mine, Cantor Marsha Attie.
And we want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom, a peaceful, beautiful Shabbat. Shabbat Shalom.
Filled with music. Filled with music and singing.
Amen.
Oh, heart of mine, lost and find my home is sometimes near and sometimes far. It's always changing. Oh, heart of mine, take the time to feel the sadness. Love is always near. It seems they go together. The walls are coming down and down and down. Life is going round and round and round. And love, it will be found and found and found. It's all inside of you. Oh, moon of mine, to see you shine is like as if to wish upon a star. I'm so glad to see you. Oh, moon of mine, the night is time for love and wonder spread across the sky. What would we do without you? The walls are coming down and down and down. The life is going round and round and round. And love, it will be found and found and found. It's all inside of you. All inside. Oh, friend of mine, eyes that shine and help me feel that I am not alone. How can I ever thank you? Oh, friend of mine, space nor time will break the bond that holds my heart with yours. I'll always love you. walls are coming down and down and down. And life is going round and round and round. In love it will be found and found and found. It's all inside of you. All inside of you. All inside of you. All